Hello, my fellow adventurers! This is Mloentje, and welcome back to New World here. Still with a jaw that hurts like hell, but we've got to keep rolling, guys. I've got a lot of content to cover. So in today, we are going to talk about a new item that has been introduced into the game. And that is artifacts. Now, artifacts are kind of special, because artifacts come at instantly 700 gear score, so they're instantly max level. But as you can see, they all have equipped artifact to view objective. They all have quests behind them. So these are the artifacts that I was able to pick up so far. These are all the artifacts that actually drop from world bosses or world drops. Or from corrupted portals. Now I am missing one. And I'm gonna explain why I don't have that as well. And that is the rapier. Now, the rapier, I've spent 100 plus hours, at least 400 plus kills trying to get it. Until somebody told me, I think it might have already dropped for you. And if it did, then you need to go check out this dude over here, the Stylemancer, and actually check if it unlocked.
Want to survive?
So if we go to one-handed weapons, and we go down,
I can help you.
we can see, where was it again? Here it is, the finisher. So the finisher is an artifact, guys, that dropped for me from a bunch of elephants. And I didn't pick it up, because basically artifacts, if we look, it says repair. Repair not needed. But there is no delete button. You cannot salvage artifacts, guys. So even if I would have picked it up, I could not have desalvaged it. I could have not broken it down. And if we look further, and I pick this one, drop item, I cannot drop it because it's a mission item. It has quests behind them. So if you pick up an artifact, you cannot salvage it and you cannot drop it either. The only thing you can do is store them in your bench. So for me, the rapier is kind of bugged. It dropped, I didn't pick it up, and now it won't drop for me anymore. Now people are saying, yeah, you kind of need to make a ticket, or you just need to spend more time farming it. Guys, 100 hours killing elephants, and they spawn every 6 minutes. So that's a lot of kills. I was kind of sick and tired. Like, I saw 400 people talking to me or saying like, oh, I got here for the first time and it already dropped. The first 50 are funny. The last 100 are like you getting frustrated. So I just gave up on the rapier for now. There are a bunch more than these. And what we're going to do today is check out which ones there are. Later on, when I actually collected a lot of them or most of them, I'm going to make separate videos of them, showing you where you can find it, specifically which behemoth or which boss or which item or thing you need to do in the game to actually get that artifact. And I'm going to show you all of the quest requirements and what you need to gonna do for those quests. So for every artifact, I'm going to make a different episode. Today, we are just going to take a look at all the different artifacts that are in the game. So without further ado, let's go to the New World page online and check out all the artifacts that you can possess in New World. So artifact of weapons, guys. We got the Pestilence, a blunderbuss. So Blighted enchantment attacks against targets, inflicts a stack of poison and a decrease to incoming and outgoing healing effectiveness by 5% per stack for 3. So 15% increased and decreased healing done. So really, really nice. 8% damage against poisoned and diseased targets. Plague crits, critical strikes against target below 50% disease, reducing healing effectiveness of the target by 26%. So again, really, really nice. Working on that. The target can get less healing. And then a random perk, of course. We can get this one from the PvP reward track, which is what I'm gonna work on next really, really hard. We got the Abyss, the Great Axe, which I already have. The Darkened Blades, 90%. We saw this one. That's from Closing Corrupted Breaches. Now, you need to do the highest tier Corrupted Breaches, so only majors. The minor Corrupted Breaches tier 5 do not count. And it does not drop as an item on the ground. It instantly gets dropped into your inventory. So you cannot go wrong there. It instantly gets into your inventory. We got Serenity, the Great Sword. Balanced Blade offense stance is 2% in power per attack for 5 seconds. Max 10 stacks. So a 10%, 20% in power there. And defense stance, 2% fortify when hit for 5 seconds. Max stance stack, so 20% fortify with this blade. We got transient strikes, heavy melee attacks deal 23% extra damage. Transient crits, heavy melee attacks deal 34% critical damage. A refreshing move and a random perk. This is like a really good sword, guys. A really good sword. Again, we can get this one from a PvP reward track. We got Freya's franchise, the hatchet. So, Throne Mastery. Throne Axe projectiles reduce all axe skills cooldown by 25%. It's a 5% cooldown. Attach a gem to add its effect. So, this one does have a gem slot to it. We got Empowering Rendering Throw. Ranged hatchets deal 40% damage against rendering throw targets. We got Refreshing Move and then a random perk. So, this hatchet really is designed to build it into a hatchet throw set, guys. Like, holy crap. There has been throw builds out there, but not weapons that are specifically like designed for that. This hatchet is specifically designed to be like a throwable weapon, and that is really cool. We can get this from the Blighted Greenskeeper, a Garden of Genesis. So it doesn't say mutated one, so it is from you can get this from the regular version as well. Inferno Fire Staff. We got the Inner Power. If higher, this weapon scales with strength. So we first saw the Abyss that scales off intellect, and now we're seeing the Inferno that is scaling off strength. So you can make a strength build with a fire staff that actually does damage with how much, well, fire staff? Am I reading this correctly? Inferno fire staff, yeah. That does weapon scaling with strength, guys. Really cool. 20% damage when you hit a target within 8 meters. Incinerate deals 40% damage to the targets with a burn. And then 7% critical damage. So again, another really nice way to introduce other weapons into builds that previously weren't all that useful. You could implement like Fire Staff and Great Axe together or Hammer together, but you would need like Strength and Intellect, and you were gonna miss on Con or any other perks that you wanted. But now with this, you basically can work those two weapons into one, and that is really nice. You can get this one from Commander Marius in the Empyrean Forge, guys. So it doesn't say, again, it doesn't say mutated. So I presume you can get this from the regular run as well. We got Odo, the Flail. So Odo's Punishment, you deal 20% more damage to stun foes, works on both weapons. So if you actually have this weapon equipped and a foe is stunned, and you switch to another weapon, the other weapon will have that 20% more damage. Which is insane if you think about it. Odo's Defense, on block you heal for 5% base health. Lifesteal, you heal for 7.5% of the damage you deal. Does not trigger off persistent damage or dot effects, of course. Refreshing Move. I think all of the weapons actually have Refreshing Move on them. No, Inferno does not. Refreshing Move, Serenity, Refreshing Move, the Abyss, Refreshing Move, Pestilence. Pestilence as well not. So yeah, a couple don't. You can get this from a Vanash in the Elysian Wilds. It is a boss in an elite zone, guys. We got the Mechanic and Musket. Extra levers, traps, and sticky bombs cooldowns are reduced by 25%. We get Attach a Gem to add its effects. 33% movement speed for 5 seconds after deploying a trap. Does not stack. Traps now applied bleed for 16 of the weapon damage for 5 seconds. So an extra bleed on top of a trap. And a mini Sticky Bomb. Every hit of Sticky Bomb heals you for 32% of the damage done. So a self-heal with Sticky Bomb. Accelerated traps and Sticky Bombs cooldowns are reduced. So yeah, again, we got a musket that is working on the versatility of the trap system that it has, instead of the long-range damage that it can do. So again, really nice. And it scales with dexterity and intellect. It says here below 90% and 65% intellect. So again, really nice. These weapons definitely are gonna make some insane builds in this game. You can get that from the Toy Maker in Elysia Wilds. This is not in an elite zone. I don't think this is an elite zone. I'm not real sure. Once we make the video on where you can actually get it and what quests you need to do to unlock all of it, I will basically show you where everything is. But I think it's like on the side of an elite zone maybe, but not really into the elite zone. It is a hard boss to beat, I do have to say. He killed me a couple times even when I was healer there. We got the finisher, my bane of my existence, guys. So finisher Harmony attacks against bleeding targets, deal 15% more damage and reduce a flourish cooldown by 5%. It's a 1-second cooldown, works on both weapons. Empty Sock attack again to add its effects. Deadly Flourish. Flourish deals 41% damage against targets below 50% health. And Keen Tondo, so it actually has like double weapon perks on it and then a finisher Harmony on it. Like it is, these weapons are insane. And if I look at it, like all of them have like mending sticky bombs, accelerated traps. This has got Odo's Punishment and Odo's Defense. Empowering Incinerate and Hell's Fury. So, yeah, most actually empowering Rendering Throw and Throw Mastery. Transient Strike, Transient Crits, Balanced Blade, yeah. Some have like dual weapon perks, some have like insane other perks. Like, I can't deny that. Like, these are all freaking amazing. Where were we? So, we got Finisher, yeah. Montrapala the Unruled, he's in the Elite Zone on the top right of the Elysian Wilds, guys. It's basically a big mammoth, and like I said, it's the bane of my existence. I spent at least 100 hours there killing him over the course of 1 week. So it was 4 hours per day at least, and then in the weekend I spent 11 to 12 hours at least per day trying to farm it up, and I still don't have it. So that one really, really pisses me off. Flourish deals and Keen Tondo 26 critical chance against targets affected by Tondo's bleed. If this perk is on a weapon, Tondo also inflicts 10% weaken for 10 seconds. We got Scorpion Sting, the one I got last night, actually. So, Sting, Javelin now does 100% weapon damage and pulls targets towards you. So, you gotta pull instead of, well, Javelin usually pushes them to the ground, right? So, now you actually get a pull. So, the enemy gets pulled towards you. Attach a gem to add its effect. The Javelin inflicts rend to a target above 50% health, reducing the target's armor for 40%. So really, really nice. You basically throw the Javelin, you pull the enemy towards you. He has rend on him, reducing his armor, and you can finish him off with Transient Strike. Heavy melee attacks deal 20% increased damage. If that's not enough, you can swap to your other weapon and finish him off with that. But yeah, this is making some of these weapons really, really good. I really think there's gotta be some changes to some of these weapons. It seems like some of them are just a little bit too powerful. I'm the last person to say like nerf, guys. I really don't like nerfs in game. Nobody does. But if it's broken, it's broken, right? So Scorpio is in Brimstone Sands. It's a boss in a cave all the way at the top right corner, I do believe, and is kind of actually an obnoxious one because he spawns every 1.5 hours. He spawns when nighttime begins in a tournament. And because nighttime lasts for 30 minutes and daytime lasts for 1 hour, it's basically a guaranteed spawn every 1 hour and a half every time. But in the 30 minutes nighttime, there is, as far as I understand, and as I've seen it happen, a 5% chance. Well, for me, it was 1 out of 6. I did 9 attempts to get the Scorpion Sting. Not to brag, just that's what my calculations are. I did 9 attempts, and out of the 9 attempts, on my 6th attempt, I saw him reappear 20 minutes after we killed him. So there is a low chance that Scorpio will actually respawn again. So yeah, if you're patient enough, just wait after you kill him for 20 minutes. There's a low chance that you might be able to kill him again and actually save up on some time to farm for the Scorpion Sting, guys. The Butcher is a sword, one-handed sword. Bloodletting bleeds last 33% longer, works on both weapons. Jagged Whirl, so if you have a bleed on your spear, rapier, or whatever, those bleeds will last 33% longer if you're actually using this sword. Jagged Whirl's whirling blade inflicts bleed, dealing 10% weapon damage for 6 seconds. Empowering Whirlwind Blade, when 3 or more enemies are within its radius while performing a Whirlwind Blade attack, you gain 52% base damage. Keenly Jagged inflicts bleed on critical hit, dealing 10% weapon damage per second for 6 seconds. This one can get from Zhao Taijing But it is a mutated Dynasty Shipyard, guys. You're gonna need to... As it says mutated, I'm not sure, but I presume it's just M1, M2, M3. Like, you're gonna need to do the mutated version to actually get your hands on the Butcher. We got Life Taker, the Void Gauntlet. It has negative energy. Your ranged attack inflict disintegrate for 8 seconds on both weapons. So even if you have this Void Gauntlet together with, for instance, me, a Life Staff, I can get negative energy from my Life Staff. So ranged attack inflict disintegrate on both weapons. 1 second cooldown, and if higher, this weapon scales with dexterity. So this also works with bows, with muskets. Really interesting for, again, multiple builds, guys. 7% critical chance, heal for 7.5%, 1% for the damage you deal. Does not trigger off persistent damage or dot effects. Refreshing move, light and heavy attacks reduce per active weapon cooldown. You can get this from Pugnacious Perutu in the Elysian Wilds. I think that's a monkey in a cave. If I remember correctly, it's... you got 2 elite zones, and the Montrapala, the Unruled, is the top one, where all the Beast Lords are basically at. And then Pugnacious Perutu is the one that is down below. We did do a quest where we had to go into the Elysian Wilds one. For the Mount quest, for the Lion quest. And that was where you can find Montrapala. But Pugnacious is actually in the other one. Again, once I go over the quests that I need to do to upgrade or actually unlock all of these perks, guys, I will show you exactly where you can find them. Today, I just want to go over them and see about all the perks that everything has. For the Warhammer Spark of Mloentje, it has Molger's Blessing. 99% hammer damage is converted to lightning, and you deal 20% more lightning damage with both weapons. That is kind of peculiar, because lightning is not something we can actually... I don't really get... You can't really stack into lightning. Because lightning is not... It's not... We know that Void scale for Void weapons scales from intellect. We know fire scales with intellect. But is lightning scaling from intellect? Or is lightning one of the new things that is coming to the game later on? Like, I'm not really sure how this works. If you guys know and I'm completely mistaken about this, let me know in the comments down below. Mighty Gravel causes a lightning strike to inflict 30% weaken for 7 seconds. That's pretty big. Refreshing Mighty Gavel. Mighty Gavel hits reduce the ability cooldown by 20%. Max 2 activities per impact. So if you hit 2, if you have the max refreshing on your gear right now that you can get with a couple extra perks, I think, or specific artifacts that you can equip, I think if you hit 2 targets, you can actually basically like instantly do this again. You can keep gaveling over and over and over again. And you got refreshing move, light and heavy attacks reduce the active cooldown. So that's gonna help with this as well, right? And you can get this from Chardas, a Lazarus Instrumental. It doesn't say mutated, so I think you can get this from the regular one. Then we got artifact armors, guys. So these are all the weapons. So no life staff. That was something that was really, really strange for me, guys. There is no life staff. Well, there was something that was not strange. That was something that I was like, what the crap? No life staff? Come on, give me my artifact life staff. So for the artifact armor heads, guys, my cheek is starting to hurt like shit. Unyielding heavy. So we've got hard head. PvP only receives 20% less damage from critical hits. This helm's weight is reduced by 6%. We got attaching gem to add its effect. Refreshing reduces max cooldowns by 4%. And Sheridan Fortification. After dodging attack, gain Fortify, increasing armor by 5.3% for 4 seconds. Sheridan Fortification is good, but not on light loadouts anymore. Like, if you want to go, there's like the new BIS perks are like health, refreshing, and then it's another. I don't think I can find them on here somewhere. Not physical aversion. Yeah, I'll tell you guys later, but it's like taking 4% less damage from light and heavy attacks. It's that protection they can get. Like, it's refreshing, health, and that protection. That's like the main semi-bis, and then you want to have like or less refreshing in there, because you're gonna only get 4 stacks of refreshing. Like, there is now a max amount of stacks of refreshing you can get, and after that it's like 5 out of 4, and the 5th one just doesn't work anymore. So there is like a couple changes to gear that are pretty significant. But yeah, Shuriken Fortifications PvP reward, so definitely some I'm gonna pick up later here as well. We got the Great Wizard's Hat, Intellect, Brilliant, 100% max mana. Pretty interesting, so you can have like 200% mana then, I think. Like 200 mana in total. I'm definitely gonna need to check this one out once I actually start leveling this up. Refreshing and Physical Aversion, receive 4.2 less damage from ranged and physical attacks. So definitely really interesting. Closing Corrupted Breaches, again, like with the, what was it again, the Abyss, guys. It is from the major breaches, the tier 5 major breaches. They're like the big icons on the map, not the small icons. And it basically gets instantly transported into your bags. So you cannot drop it, you cannot miss it. If you get it, it's in your bags. So really nice. And we got Jin's Head Wrap. So shrug off, non-crowd control debuffs expire 20% faster on you. So that's kind of like a freedom perk, kind of. Well, it's an exaggerated form of the Vigor and Invigorating, right? And then we got Vigor and Invigorating on here as well. So reduces the duration of burn, bleed, and poison, and reduces the duration of weaken, disease, exhaust, and rend. So this is basically the anti, like, get all the shit off me. Like, that is pretty interesting, actually. And that's from regular beasts in Elysian Wilds. So you're gonna need to kill your Ray around Elysian Wilds to actually get this one to drop. So it can drop from anywhere and anybody. So yeah, definitely watch out, guys, that you do not miss a bag that is yellow and shiny. Because they kind of look red, and you were expecting that the bag would turn red as well. They do not. The bag is still yellow. We got chest gear, name Featherweight. This was actually the one I got, the first one. I had to do this. Well, I had to be close to where the Nermer spawns in the Elysian Wilds to do a quest for my main campaign. And this is also why I actually stayed there a while to see what the people were farming. So Featherweight, we got Magnify, Weightless. This armor is weightless. Empty Socket, Refreshing, reduces max cooldown and Physical Aversion again. So it is a bird in a giant tower, guys. You can't miss it. And again, once I work on this armor to unlock all the perks, I'll show you exactly where I got it from. We got Nimble Coats, Magnify, Highly Refreshing. So this is what I'm talking about, like with the Mighty Gavel one. Reduces the max cooldown by 8%. Empty Socket. It has Refreshing on it, and it has Health on it. So you get an additional 8% refreshing on the 4 perks of refreshing that you can get. Increasing that refreshing to the max amount that you can get it. Then with the refreshing move on your Warhammer, the Spark of Mloentje here, the refreshing move on that. Plus then the refreshing Mighty Gavel. If you hit 2 times, you can basically start gaveling over and over and over and over again. Like, Gavel is the only Mighty Gavel or whatever the perk is called. I'm not really a Warhammer user, guys, so I have to be honest. You can basically keep doing that over and over. You're only going to be playing with 1 perk. Is from the PvP reward track. So definitely looking forward to that one as well. So Void Dark Plate, heavy gear, guys. Magnify Dark Reinforced. Your armor is increased by 20%. Again, only really good if you have heavy gear. That's the same why that, where was it again? Shuriken Fortification, getting extra armor. Your armor in a light loadout is too low to actually benefit a lot from increase in armor. That is why on yield, that's why Shuriken Fortification on a light loadout is not that good anymore. But with this one on a heavy chest wear and already having 20% more armor, if you're getting that extra 8% on each equipment loadout, then this is gonna be insane, the amount of armor you can actually get, right? We got Attach a Gem to its added effect, 4% damage from light and heavy attacks. Here we go. Enchanted Ward, guys. That is the new best ward in the game. Like, especially for light loadouts. Enchanted Ward, Refreshing, and Health. Those are the 3 perks you kind of want to look out for. That's my understanding, at least so far as I can see it. And then, basically, if you got 4 Refreshing, so if you got Refreshing on your ring or your necklace, or on your weapon, for instance, you basically can change one of your refreshing in your armor to a weapon skill or to any other like wards that you want in there. But enchanted ward is just way good. If you got like 5 enchanted wards, guys, that's 20% less damage taken from light and from heavy attacks. 20% less damage taken from all damage. Well, all melee and all range damage, like all passive weapon damage. That's insane. And then physical version receive 4.2 less damage from ranged and physical attacks. So physical version sounds more, because enchanted war is covering both light and heavy attacks. That's why it's overall just way better. There's people out there who make videos about this, guys, and I watch those videos too. I'm not the best at explaining shit like this, but it's just what it is. Enchanted Ward is kind of the new biz in the game. You can get this from Nereid in Barnacles and Black Powder Expedition. It doesn't say mutated, so I presume it's from the Lego one. We got gloves, the ghoul gloves, magnify ghoul's touch when you hit a foe that is below half health, transfer 1 debuff every 3 seconds. We got attach a gem to add its effect, refreshing, reduces max cooldowns by 4%, and elemental aversion, receive 4.2 less damage from ranged and elemental attacks. And this one drops from Overgrown Guardians or Adiana's Chosen Beasts. These are, the Overgrown Guardian is somebody you can solo easily. Like, it's really easy to solo him. He's in the middle of the map somewhere. I'll show you exactly where, guys. Like I said, we're just gonna go over all of them today. And later on, when I make my specific episodes, you can look at them together. What you need to do as well for all those perks, right? Magnetic Gauntlets, we've got... Magnetics crit chance increased by 50%, but crit damage reduced up to 50%. Now, this is a kind of strange one, because I'm not really sure, but it might be possible that with this one, you might be able to perhaps go to 100% critical strike chance, meaning that every hit you do is going to be a critical damage, right? Is going to do critical damage. But your critical damage is going to be lowered by 50%. So that's definitely something where a lot of people are going to make like a lot of tests on, like, is it worth it? Is it enough? Is it not enough? So for me personally, I'm going to need to watch out for those guys when they make those videos. We got refreshing and physical aversion, and you can find this one in Isabella Tempest Heart Expedition, non-mutated, as you can see. So I presume it's found in the mutated version as well, but you can find it in non-mutated as well. We got legs, attuned leather pants. This is the pants you get from the main storyline. It basically gives 40 to the highest attribute and well-rounded 10% to all attributes. Attach a gem, reduce max cooldown by 4% and receive 4.2 less damage from ranged elemental attacks. The end of New Eden from the main story quest, guys. And we got freedom. So I'm really sad that this is on a heavy legwear and not medium, because I really would love to work this into my healer build. Especially my PvP healer build. Unending Freedom. Stun, slow, and root expire 20% faster. Freedom. Reduce the duration of stun, slow, and root by another 12%. Enchanted Ward. And then as a random perk, I could go refreshing, or I could go health. And then on top, I could get like 3 other pieces with freedom. Or 2 other pieces with freedom. Like, that is... Basically, there's no longer going to be a stun, right? I think there is a max amount of mitigation you can get from stun, slow, and root. So I'm not really sure if this overrides that max duration or not. But we'll have to see. But I'm really sad that this is a heavy one and not a medium one, guys. Because with medium, everybody could build this into a loadout. You can build it into a heavy loadout, into a medium loadout, or into a light loadout. But because it's heavy, you can't load it into in a light loadout, sadly enough. It is from the PvP reward track, so I should be able to get it soon enough. Boots, we got the Tumbling Feet wrap. This is from the Season 3 reward track, guys. Again, I talked about this in the Season reward track. I don't really get why they put it in the Season reward track, and even if they did, I hope that after this season ends, they put it in the general loot pool. Because else it would be broken to all the other players that don't play this season. So Shuriken Blessing, successfully dodging attacks, gives you 15% in power and 25% fortify for 5 seconds. You are also healed for 200 plus 2% of your max HP. That's actually a pretty good boost that you get there. 15% in power, 25% fortify, and healed for 200 and plus 2% of your max HP. Pretty good. Reduces max cooldown by 4% and physical aversion 4.2, less damage from ranged physical attacks. So yeah, Season 3 reward track, really strange there, guys. We got Shields, the Michael, Refreshing Cleanse, cooldowns reduced by 5% on block, lose 1 debuff. So if you block, all your cooldowns get reduced by 5%. Wait, no, cooldowns are reduced by 5% general. On block, you lose 1 debuff. I think that's how it works. This is kind of strange. Like, why is there no dot or... Like, they're putting dots in here except after the 4 seconds. They're putting a dot in here after the debuff. But they're not putting a dot or a comma between cooldown reduction by 5% and on block lose 1 debuff. That's kind of... Counterattack. On block, gain a 30% in power for 4 seconds. Healing defense. On block, heal for 3% base max health, 3-second cooldown. So, you're healing while blocking. You're losing debuffs while blocking. This shield is made for PvP, guys. And lifesteal. Heal for 1% of the damage you deal. Does not trigger off persistent damage or dot effects. It really does look like it is made for PvP, right? It heals on blocking. It counterattacks with 30% in power. And your cooldowns are reduced. And you lose buffs on block. And there's a lot of people hitting shields. So you're basically never gonna have buffs on you. Kind of strange one. Definitely wanna look into that. And it's a guide shield. So cooldowns reduced by 5% on block. I still don't get the sentence. PvP reward track. We got the wall. Really interesting. Like, it's gonna be like the best shield in the game right now, I think. Shield wall, gain 5% base damage reduction. You cannot dodge, but you have 33% more stamina, meaning you can hold your shield up 33% longer. You take 25% less damage from all elemental sources. Sturdy, receive 10% less stamina damage while blocking. And keenly fortified, gain 10% fortify for 3 seconds on a critical hit. 10% cooldown. Now, critical hit is a strange one here, guys, because only PvP can critical hit. Only other players. PvE can't critical hit in this game. So you're never gonna get keenly fortified in PvE, as far as I understand it. If I'm wrong, again, let me know in the comments. And you can get this from Heru. Now, Heru is... I have no idea. Where the hell is Heru? Why doesn't it say here? Eniot. It's from Eniot, guys. Okay, it's from Eniot. Okay, got it. wait, where are you going? Oh, come back. And then artifact jewelry, guys, the last ones. It's gonna be a lengthy video. We got Ankh, which already had a nerf, but apparently the nerf was a buff. I'm not real sure, I don't have it yet. But a lot of people, even healers in PvP, are wearing this. So, center of attention. Incoming heals are 25% stronger. Consumables and outgoing heals are 25% weaker. Now, this is really strange why healers are actually equipping this. Well, if you have a healer in your own team and that healer is healing you, then his heals are 25% stronger than normal. So he's going to heal you for 25% more. And outgoing heals are 25% weaker. But he's still going to... Like, any healer that equips this is gonna heal for 25% less. But anybody getting healed with this is gonna heal for 25% more. So this is like... This is so used for melees, right? Then Divine. 10% health from all incoming healing effects. So... Incoming heals are 25% stronger, right? You get 10% health from all incoming healing effects. So that means all incoming healing are 35%, right? Now, outgoing heals are 25% weaker. Is that actually a buff? I don't get why healers would use this. I really don't get it. And it has health on it. It's from the PvP reward track. So again, once I have it, I'll use it and see what it does, guys, and how it actually works. We got the Lost Stopwatch. Stunny Gaze, activate Taunt Gems. Stun lasts 100% longer, but base damage is decreased by 5%. Attach a gem to add its effects. Purify when you're hit while below 50% health. You lose all debuffs, 90% cooldown. Does not trigger off persistent damage, dot effects, or blocked attacks. And it has health. Commander Torb from the mutated Depths expedition, guys. So it is mutated. We got Blood Drinker, the Ring. Ghoul's Harmony, 25% damage and 25% lifesteal. Attach a gem. Heal for 7.1% damage you deal, does not trigger. And Hardy, 10% max stamina. So the max stamina is a pretty important perk there. Bleaching is an interesting one. And 25% extra damage and 25% extra lifesteal. Sounds really good to me. You can get this from Grand Ghoul the Regent, Mutated Starstone. And an Endless Thirst, which is the only one here that I see would be a good one for a healer build. But it's not available. Weird, right? Health potions are 33% stronger, but the cooldown is 20% longer. Attach a gem. On potion drink, gain 10% empower. Empower, maybe not even for a healer, right? Yeah, not for a healer. So which one would I use for a healer? I don't think I would use any of these as a healer. Empower and Toast, Fortifying Toast. On potion drink, gain 20% Fortify. Well, you're gonna need to drink a potion because you're low on HP anyway. So getting a 20% Fortify for 3 seconds, actually not bad. That's actually not bad. Yeah, really strange. I would really not know which I would have to use, but I have a lot I need to work on, guys. I have a lot I need to work on. I still have a lot that I'm gonna need to farm. And there we go, guys. Those are all the artifacts that are in the game right now. So yeah, I've got a bunch of them, but I'm missing a lot of them, guys. I'm missing so much of them. So I'm gonna, the first thing, oh, there we go. Back to my old self. So the first thing I'm gonna do right now, I've got, like I said before, I've got all the open world drops except for the freaking rapier. So what I'm gonna do right now is start PvPing, because I've got a lot of episodes to record on the PvP track as well. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do, guys. A lot of work. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. This is probably gonna be one hell of an episode, but this is just me looking into all the artifacts and giving my first perspective on them. Like, just, well, about reading them, right? So let's sit our ass down here like we always do and end this episode up here. If you want to see more of my quest progression on my Let's Play here in New World, just hit that subscribe button. It would always help out a lot. I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.